Hello and welcome back to Golden Key English. I'm Kate and I am so happy you're here with us today. It is a beautiful day to learn something new, isn't it, Brian?
It certainly is, Kate. Hello, everyone. I'm Brian. I'm absolutely delighted to be here for another session. The sun is shining, the coffee is brewing, and we are ready to dive into English.
Exactly. We love these moments where we can just slow down and focus on learning together. And today, we have a topic that I know everyone has struggled with. It is the classic trio. We are talking about in, on, and at.
Ah, yes, the big three. It sounds so simple, doesn't it? Just tiny little words. But they cause so much confusion for students at every level. I have heard advanced speakers trip over these.
Oh, absolutely. It's one of those things where you might know the grammar rule, but it still feels wrong. You ask yourself, why am I in a car but on a bus? Why am I at the party but in the room? It can be frustrating.
It can be maddening. But don't worry, by the end of this episode, you will completely understand in, on, and at. We're going to break it down. Not just with rules, but with feelings and images. We want you to visualize these words.
That is the key. We want to move you away from memorizing lists. We want you to develop an intuition, a gut feeling, so when you speak, the right word just comes out naturally.
Precisely. And remember, this isn't just a grammar lesson. This is listening training. We are speaking slowly and articulating clearly. When you listen to this episode multiple times, your brain absorbs the natural flow of English.
Right. Your brain needs repetition to learn the rhythm, so don't just listen once. Use this as your daily ear training. Listen while you cook, while you drive, or while you walk. Let the sounds of in, on, at become music to your ears.
That is a lovely way to put it, Kate. Before we start, I want to give you one simple idea to hold on to, just one concept to anchor your thinking. Think of shapes. In is a container, on is a surface, at is a point.
I love that. Container, surface, point. If you can remember those three words, you're halfway there. We'll explore exactly what that means in just a moment. But first, a quick request for our listeners.
Yes, if you enjoy our lessons and want to support us, please subscribe and like this video. It really helps us create more content for you. Join our Golden Key family.
Yes, please do. We love seeing our family grow. So hit that button, get comfortable, and let's master these prepositions. Golden Key English starts now. All right, let's jump deep into the core lesson. We mentioned the idea of shapes, container, surface, and point. I want to start with in because it feels the most physical to me. Brian, when you say in, what image comes to mind?
When I say in, I imagine a box, a cardboard box, or a room with four walls. The core feeling of in is enclosure. You're inside the limits of something. It's a 3D space.
Right, a 3D space. So if I say I am in the kitchen, I'm visualizing the walls around me. I'm contained by the room. If I say the money is in my wallet, the wallet is the container. The money is inside, hidden away.
Exactly. And this applies to liquids too. The coffee is in the cup. The cup is the container holding the liquid. The fish is in the river. It's all about being surrounded.
So in is cozy. It hugs you. Now let's contrast that with on. If in is a box, what is on? To me, on is flat. It's open.
Spot on. On is for surfaces. Imagine a tabletop. The book is on the table. It's resting on the surface. There are no walls around it. It's exposed.
And this works for vertical surfaces too, doesn't it? Like a wall. The picture is on the wall. The wall is a surface, and the picture is touching it. The magnet is on the fridge.
Precisely. Think of contact. If two things are touching along a surface, we use on. There's a stain on my shirt. The stain is on the surface of the fabric. There's snow on the roof.
Okay, so in equals box, on equals surface. Now the tricky one, at. At is the most abstract. It doesn't really have a shape, does it?
Not really. At is a dot. It's a specific point on a map. It focuses on location rather than the physical shape. When I say I'm at the bus stop, I don't care about the shape of the bus stop. I'm just telling you where I'm standing.
That's such a good distinction. Location versus shape. Let's look at the coffee shop example again. This is where students get confused. I am in the coffee shop versus I am at the coffee shop.
Yes, this is a classic. Both are correct, but the feeling is different. If you say, I'm in the coffee shop, you're emphasizing the building. Maybe it's raining outside and you want to say, don't worry, I'm in the shop, I'm dry. You're inside the walls.
Right, but if I say I am at the coffee shop, I'm emphasizing the meeting point. Where are you? I'm at the coffee shop. I might be standing outside the door. I might be on the patio. It doesn't matter. The coffee shop is just the dot on the map where we agreed to meet.
Exactly. At is for destinations. I'm at work. I'm at school. I'm at the party. We focus on the function of the place, not the architecture.
Okay, let's move to a very difficult category, transportation. This drives people crazy. Why are we in a car but on a bus? Is there a logic or is it just random?
There is absolutely a logic, Kate, and once you know it, you will never forget it. It's the walk rule. If the vehicle is large enough for you to stand up and walk, you're on it. Think of a bus, a train, a plane, a ship. These are moving platforms.
Moving platforms. I like that. So a bus has an aisle. I can walk down the aisle. So I am on the bus. A plane is huge. I can walk to the bathroom. So I am on the plane.
Precisely. You're boarding a surface. But think about a car or a taxi or a helicopter. Can you stand up and walk?
No way. I have to crouch down. I have to fold my body to get inside. It's a small container, so I am in the car. I am in the taxi.
Exactly. You're enclosed. So the rule is big and walkable, on. Small and enclosed, in. What about a bicycle or a horse?
Well, I can't walk on a bicycle, but I sit on top of it. I'm not inside anything, so it must be on. On a bike, on a horse, on a motorcycle.
Perfect, because you're on the surface of the seat. You're straddling it. So that covers transportation. Now let's talk about technology. We're always using screens today.
Yes, screens are everywhere, and screens are surfaces, right? So we use on. I saw it on TV. I read it on the internet. I found it on a website.
Yes, digital spaces are treated like surfaces. I'm on Facebook. I'm on a call. I'm on the computer. We view the information as resting on the screen.
But wait, Brian, what about a book? A book has pages. Pages are surfaces. But do we say in the book or on the book?
Ah, good question. We usually say in the book. The answer is in the book. Why? Because a book is a container of information. It has covers. You open it and look inside. However, we say on the page. Look at the picture on page 5.
Oh, that's subtle. So the book is a container, in, but the specific page is a surface. The story is in the newspaper. The headline is on the front page.
Exactly. You're mastering the nuance now. Let's shift gears to time. Time is another huge area for these 3 words. And guess what? The shape rule still applies.
How does a shape apply to time? Time is invisible.
True, but we visualize time as having size. We have a time funnel. At the top, we have the biggest time periods, years, centuries, months, seasons. These are huge containers of time, so we use in.
Okay, big containers equals in 1999, in the 21st century, in January, in the summer. We are living inside that long period.
Correct. Now, let's move down the funnel. It gets narrower. We get to days and dates, specific 24-hour periods. For these, we use on.
Okay, on Monday, on my birthday, on Christmas Day, on July 4th. It feels like pointing to a square on a calendar. The calendar is on the wall, so the day is on.
That's a clever way to remember it. The calendar is a surface. Now, at the very bottom of the funnel, we have the tiniest point, specific clock time, at.
At 5 o'clock p.m., at noon, at midnight, at the moment. It's a sharp, precise dot on the timeline. So in, big, on, medium or day, at, small or point.
Perfectly summarized. Now, I want to talk about a very specific feeling difference. In time versus on time. This confuses everyone. They sound the same, but the meaning is quite different.
Oh, this is a great one. On time means punctuality, right? If the meeting is at 9 and I arrive at 9, I am on time.
Yes. On time means according to the schedule. The train left on time. You are not late. You hit the target exactly.
But in time feels more emotional. It means before it was too late, like in a movie. The ambulance arrived in time to save him. It implies there was a deadline or a danger and you beat it.
Exactly. In time often implies a margin of safety. I arrived at the airport in time to grab a coffee before my flight. I wasn't just on schedule, I had enough time. So, on time equals schedule. In time means before something bad happens or with time to spare.
I love that distinction. Let's talk about one more geographical nuance. In the sea versus at the sea, or in the water versus on the water.
Oh, this paints such a vivid picture. If I say, the children are playing in the sea, what do you see?
I see them wet. Their bodies are submerged, they're swimming, they're contained by the water.
Correct. But if I say, we stayed at a hotel at the sea, or by the sea, it means near the edge. We are at the location of the seaside. We aren't swimming in the lobby.
I hope not. And on the water. The boat is on the water. It is floating on the surface. But the submarine is in the water. It is deep down.
Precisely. It all comes back to the shapes, surface versus container. Let's do one last tricky pair before our story. In school versus at school. We touched on this briefly, but let's go deeper. It's about institutional status versus physical location.
Right. My son is in school. This doesn't mean he's in the building right now. It means he's a student. He's not working. He's enrolled in the system. In college, in university.
Yes, but he's at school usually answers the question, where is he? He's at school right now, but he'll be home at 4 p.m. His physical GPS location.
The same goes for church, right? He's in church might mean he's part of the service. He's at the church means he's at the building, maybe fixing the roof.
Exactly. In often implies you're participating in the activity of the place. At just means you're there. If you're in the hospital, you're sick. If you're at the hospital, you're visiting. That small preposition changes the whole story of your health.
It's amazing how powerful two letters can be. I think our listeners are ready to see this in action. We've covered so many rules. Box, surface, point.
Walk, crouch, funnel of time, status versus location.
It's a lot to take in, but don't worry about memorizing it all at once. Just listen to the story coming up next. Relax and let the prepositions flow over you. See if you can catch the shapes as we speak.
Now, let's put all of this into a giant real-life story. We're going to walk through a full day, and we're going to use in, on, and at as many times as possible. Brian, tell me about your busy day yesterday. Start from the moment you woke up.
All right. Well, I woke up at 6 a.m. It was very dark in the room because it's still winter. I lay in bed for a few minutes, just thinking. Then I turned on the lamp on my bedside table.
So far, so good. You were in the room, container, in bed, under the covers, contained. The lamp was on the table, surface, and it was at 6 a.m., point in time. What happened next?
I went into the kitchen. I put some coffee in a mug and sat at the table. I looked at the calendar on the wall. I realized I had a dentist appointment on Tuesday, which was yesterday.
Oh no, did you leave in time?
Barely. I jumped in the shower quickly. Then I got dressed. I realized there was a spot on my shirt, so I had to change. I ran out the door at 7:30.
Did you drive?
No, my car is in the shop getting repaired, so I had to take the bus. I waited at the bus stop for 10 minutes. It was cold. Finally, I got on the bus. It was crowded, so I had to stand in the aisle.
I hate standing on the bus. It's so bumpy.
It is, but I distracted myself. I read an article on my phone about travel. It had beautiful pictures of a beach in Thailand. I wish I was lying on that beach in Thailand instead of standing on a bus in London.
I think we all wish that. So, you arrived at the dentist.
Yes, I arrived at the dentist's office at 8:90. I was just in time. I sat in the waiting room. I looked at the magazines on the table, but they were all old. They were from in 2019.
Dentist magazines are always old. So, after the dentist, did you go to work?
Yes, my office is at the city center. I work in a tall building. My desk is on the 10th floor. I spent the whole morning working on a big project. I was on the computer for 4 hours straight.
Wow, that's a lot of screen time. Did you take a break?
Yes, at 1 p.m., I met a friend for lunch. We met at a lovely Italian restaurant. We sat at a table by the window. Or, strictly speaking, we sat on chairs at the table. The food was delicious. The pasta was served in a big bowl.
Yum. And after work?
After work, I went to the gym. I ran on the treadmill for 30 minutes. Then I stretched on the mat. I like being at the gym because it clears my mind. I arrived home at 7 p.m.
A long day. And how did you end the day?
I sat on the sofa and watched a movie on Netflix. My cat came and sat in my lap. It was very cozy. I fell asleep at 11 p.m.
What a perfect example of a day full of prepositions. Did you notice, listeners? On the sofa, surface, in my lap, container or enclosed, on Netflix, digital surface, and at 11 p.m., point. Brian, that story felt so natural.
That's the goal. When you tell a story, you don't calculate the rules. You just see the picture. I saw the sofa, so I said on. I saw the time, so I said at.
Now, let's talk about mistakes. We all make them. Let's normalize them. What are the top 3 mistakes you hear, Brian?
Mistake number 1 is the address mix-up. I often hear people say, I live in 52 Main Street. Remember, a specific number is a point. It must be at. I live at 52 Main Street.
Right. But I live in an apartment, container, and I live on the 2nd floor, surface. Okay, what is mistake number 2?
Mistake number 2 is arrivals. I arrived in the station. We usually view travel hubs like stations and airports as points on a journey, so we prefer at. I arrived at the station. However, cities are containers, so I arrived in Paris, not at Paris.
That's a crucial difference. Cities, countries, in. Stations, airports, hotels, at. And the third mistake?
The third one is times of the day. This is a pure memorization trap. People say at the morning. This is wrong. The morning is a long container, so it must be in the morning. But we say at night. In the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, but at night.
That's the exception that proves the rule. English always has a few exceptions just to keep us on our toes. But don't stress about these mistakes. If you say at the morning, people will understand you, but we want to help you sound polished.
Exactly. Communication is the goal. Perfection is just a bonus. Now, we have a challenge for you. We want you to practice. In the comments, I want you to write 3 sentences about your day.
Yes. Sentence 1, where do you live? Use in, on, or at. Sentence 2, what time do you wake up? Use at. And sentence 3, where are you right now? Use in, on, or at.
For example, I live in Brazil. I wake up at 7 a.m. I am on the bus right now.
We read all your comments, and we love seeing your progress.
Please join the conversation. It makes us feel like a real classroom.
Well, Brian, we have covered a massive amount of ground today. 4,000 words worth of speaking.
Indeed, we have. Thank you for sticking with us. This kind of deep, slow listening is the best workout for your brain. You're building the neural pathways for English.
We are so proud of you for studying today. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Join the Golden Key family. We'll see you in the next episode.
Keep practicing, keep listening, and keep smiling. Cheerio.